Episode 22, Frost, Flame, and 9.5 million power. Hey, hi, hello, my real-life blog podcasters. Okay, listen. Between reading webtoons, playing Call of Duty, and trying to convince my homework to do itself, I've been busy. But lately, I've been hooked on this game called Whiteout Survival, and it has officially taken over my life. The Whiteout era begins. So you know how I said I was just going to play a little Whiteout Survival? Yeah, well, famous last words. Between webtoons, COD, and assignments that refuse to write themselves, I somehow managed to start my gaming villain arc. Day 1, 1 million power. Day 2, 2 million power. Day 3, 3 million power. Day 4, 3.5 million power. Day 5, 4 million power. Day 7 or 8, 5 million power. Now, 9.5 million power. At this point, I'm not playing the game, I am the game. Around day 3, I decided to make my own guild called Dusk, somehow got 10 people to join. Apparently, trust me, I have no idea what I'm doing is very persuasive marketing. Other guilds even understood when I rejected their invites to level up mine more, and honestly, that's rare gaming diplomacy right there. Everyone in state number 3419 has been so kind and supportive that I just kept playing, like aggressively. Eventually, I joined Dawn, and then all in lowercase HZW, and now I'm chilling at 9.5 million power, running around like an over-caffeinated warlord I was always meant to be. Shoutouts from state number 3419. Bingus the Cat, Sweet Pickles, Ben Dover, and Ron 205, who are best friends, Pilk, who has such pretty islands thanks to Mepsi, Dirty Dan, Bella, Amulet, Miss Vero, Ginger of War, Sinister, who is Dawn's guild leader, Churro from TSK Guild, Miss Martelina from Zeus Guild, and Eloquist from Zeus Guild. Now, I've saved Dawn's member Drunk Art for last because he wrote the glorious history of the guild, and with his permission, I will read it. The Chronicle of Dawn, capital D-W-N. In the beginning, Dawn was only an idea, a gathering of players who believed that strength comes not from individuals but from unity. While others chased power through chaos and reckless wars, Dawn was built on something different: trust, discipline, and the unshakable belief that every member mattered. It was Ron who planted the first seed, creating the alliance that would one day become Dawn. In those earliest days, it was a small, fragile, a flicker against the storm. But soon the banner passed into the hands of Sinister, a name forged from shadow and sunlight, a leader who carried both vision and resolve. Around him gathered the first companions, Pilk, Floppa / Bingus, Bella, Speech, and Drunkart, the pioneers of Dawn, present since its first week. The ones who carried that fragile flame into something unbreakable. Rivalries soon flared. The feud between Dark and Dawn defined those early days, with clashes led by Ron, Pilk, and Floppa. Loyalties shifted, doubts lingered, yet Dawn stood firm. Pilk vowed himself if their rival's leader did not return, they would march with Dawn, a moment that turned whispers into momentum. Defiance became our trademark. When many warned against recruiting, Speech, Sinister made her R4, not to appease, but to prove that Dawn answered only for itself. Henry, reshaping his Mandarin name into one that we could all call him by, stood as a bridge between cultures. Triple, Denied, and Daw chose Dawn and sparked a quiet revolution, drawing others with him. ALC, quiet at first, revealed herself as a pillar of potential. From rivalries to rebellions, from defiance to unity, Dawn endured, and it became a name to embody more than survival. It became a rising force, a promise that no storm could put out. And then history was written. In less than a single month, through tireless efforts and unbreakable unity, Dawn achieved what few believed possible: 1 billion power. Not luck, not shortcuts, but discipline, coordination, and fire in every member's heart. With power came attention. Dawn did not stir conflict, yet the stronger we grew, the more others turned their eyes towards us. Envy sparked challenges, rivals tested our walls, jealous voices whispered doubt, but every strike was answered with a greater resolve. Every challenge proved only one thing. Dawn was built to last. From frost to flame, from spark to inferno, Dawn rose, unstoppable. And so the chronicle records this truth. Dawn's light does not fade. It grows brighter. What began as an ember became a fire, and that fire now burns as a beacon across the entire server. Final thoughts. So yeah, that's the world I've been living in lately. Half snow apocalypse, half friendship simulator, all chaos. It's funny how random mobile games can make you feel like a part of something bigger. To players, to the builders, the fighters, and the storytellers. Keep the flame alive. Until next time, stay warm, stay kind, and if you ever end up in state 3419, you know who to look for. Bye. P.S. If you've ever sworn you just log in for 5 minutes and then woke up 3 Guild Wars later, yeah, this one's dedicated to you. Tell me your proudest in-game moment, the kind that makes your screen light up and your real-life responsibilities cry. Bonus points if it involves teamwork, betrayal, or suspiciously heroic cats named Bingus. And if you want to help fund future caffeine-fueled chronicles or bribe me to finally build another guild, you can toss a tip to Real Life Blog on Cash App. Thanks for keeping the chaos alive, one sip at a time.